All right, today we're going to tackle a pretty big topic, project quality management. Now, that's a term you hear thrown around a lot, right? But what does it actually mean to get quality right in a project? I'll give you a hint. It's not just about doing a final check for mistakes. It's a whole philosophy about getting it right from the very start. Okay, so to make this real, let me ask you a question. Just think about your smartphone for a second. What makes it a good quality phone to you? I'm serious, just pause and think about it. What's the very first thing that comes to mind? You know, for some of you, that answer is probably the brand. Maybe you're an Apple fan, or you swear by Samsung. Your whole idea of quality is tied up in that name, that logo, and the experience you expect to get. But for a lot of other people, it's not about the logo at all. It's all about the features, right? Maybe you absolutely need a killer camera, or lightning-fast performance, or, hey, just a battery that can actually last all day. It could be how it feels in your hand, or how smooth the software is. The point is, everybody wants something a little different, which really shows how quality can feel, well, pretty personal.
So, if quality means something different to everyone, how in the world does a project manager deliver it? I mean, that's the big challenge, isn't it? We've got to move away from these personal feelings and preferences to something more professional, a set standard. Let's actually dig into the formal definition.
So here it is, the official definition from organizations like ISO and the Project Management Institute. Take a look. It's not about being the best or the most expensive. It's all about its ability to satisfy stated or implied needs. So the real question is, did we deliver what we said we were going to deliver? And here's an even simpler way to think about it. Conformance to requirements or fitness for use. This is really the heart of it all. A project is high quality if the thing you built does exactly what it was designed to do. It meets the requirements. Period.
Okay, and this brings us to a really important distinction that trips up so many people, and that's the difference between quality and grade. They are absolutely not the same thing, and if you mix them up, you are asking for some major project headaches.
So here's the difference in a nutshell. Quality, that's all about meeting the requirements. So for example, a software program that's completely bug-free. Grade, on the other hand, is about the number of features it has. So you can have a high-quality, low-grade product. Think of a super basic calculator app that just works perfectly every single time. Or you could have the opposite, a low-quality, high-grade product, like a super fancy app with a million features that is constantly crashing on you. And that brings us to the key takeaway here. Low quality is always a problem. It's always a failure, because it means you didn't meet the requirements. But a low grade? That might be exactly what the customer asked for. A simple, no-frills solution that just gets the job done.
All right, so how do we actually make sure we hit that high-quality mark? Well, it doesn't just happen by luck. It happens through a really structured process called project quality management.
First off, let's just get one thing straight about what it's not. Quality management is not just having some inspectors show up at the very end of the project to find all the mistakes. I mean, if you wait until the end, it's way too late.
Instead, it is a continuous process. It's all about prevention, not just correction. It's woven into every single phase of the project, from that very first idea all the way to the final delivery. You're constantly planning, checking, and acting to make sure quality is built in, not just bolted on at the end. Okay, but this whole modern approach to quality didn't just appear out of thin air. To really get it, we need to take a quick look at the pioneers who pretty much invented the field. Their ideas are still the foundation of how we manage quality today. We're just going to touch on three of the absolute giants in this space: W. Edwards Deming, Joseph M. Juran, and Philip B. Crosby. Each of them brought a really unique and powerful philosophy to the table, and you'll see how their ideas all fit together. First up, we've got Deming. He's the one who gave us the famous Deming cycle. Plan, do, check, act. You see it? It's a loop, a cycle of continuous improvement. You plan something, you do it, you check the results, and then you act on what you learned. The key is, this process never, ever stops. Then there's Joseph Juran. He gave us what's called the Juran Trilogy. His big idea was that quality is really defined by its fitness for use. Basically, does the product do what the customer actually needs it to do? And his framework for getting there involves planning for quality, controlling it as you go, and always improving it. And last but not least, we have Philip Crosby, who really championed this idea of zero defects. His philosophy was so simple but so powerful. Quality is free. Why? because it is always cheaper to prevent mistakes in the first place than it is to fix them later. Getting it right the first time literally saves money.
You know, Crosby's idea is the perfect bridge to our next topic, the true cost of quality. This is where the rubber meets the road, where we see why all this stuff matters so much to the project's budget and, frankly, the company's bottom line.
So we can basically break down the cost of quality into two main buckets. First, you've got the cost of conformance. Think of these as the good costs, right? This is the money you spend up front to prevent failures. Things like training your team or doing inspections. And then you have the cost of non-conformance. And yeah, these are the bad costs. This is the money you're forced to spend because things went wrong.
And this right here is what non-conformance looks like in the real world. It's rework. It's warranty repairs. It's literally having to scrap materials and just start all over again. These are the real, tangible, and super expensive consequences of getting quality wrong. This table gives us a fantastic summary. On one side, you have those good costs, the cost of conformance. This is broken down into prevention costs, like quality training, and appraisal costs, like testing the product. But on the other side are the bad costs, the cost of non-conformance. And this is where it gets really painful. You have internal failures, like having to scrap parts, and then the worst case scenario, external failures. We're talking product recalls, warranty claims, the kind of stuff that can absolutely destroy a company's reputation. Which brings us right back to the one final critical question that really sums up everything we've talked about. When you look at all of this, what do you think? Is it cheaper to invest your money in preventing failure from the very start, or to just wait and fix it after it happens? The answer to that question really shapes the entire philosophy of modern project management.